Good morning. Happy New Year. January 2nd at the fairgrounds. Strongest opinion late part of the card. Early, I don't know. I'm passing probably, but I don't know. I play it cheap here late. Pick four, $3. Some good value, I think, to be had. Race 5, they're on the turf. They're going 8. I do think that the one horse is a bomb as a price, a live long shot. That if this horse can keep its head straight, not freak out, and just send here, Axel could be dangerous up front and take this group a long way as probably one of the longest shots on the board. If the one can't, to me, the two closers are the 8 and 10. Gorilla Trek, Alexis Clare, Ben Curtis hasn't been able to get it done, burn some money, but might have a pace setup. But busy channel for Joe Sharp, J Love off the trainer switch, comes in from California and been facing tougher. Is some layoff lines, so comes in off the layoff as a 10-year-old. But, I think there's some value there. And again, the one's going to take him a long way. And this horse might wire the field up front, comes off the dirt, prefers the turf. You get the 12-point GSR increase. Could be tough there. Hey, Chucker. Thanks, buddy. Welcome. Happy New Year. And then, that's the pick four. My best bet of the card, the pick 3, because I like the 5 so much here, Hesper. And I don't think is going to be the favorite. I think the 3 horse is going to go off as the favorite. Free Scrim just broke the maiden for Al Stall going 6. It's so hard to come back and win. This horse fits, but cuts back to 5.5. One from the 11 post, which is impressive. But I think if we watch the is it the 6? There's other speed here, and I think the 3 is going to have trouble. And Jose is riding the 5, Hesper, and we'll talk about the 5. That'd be my best bet of the card. I just think Sit's a dream trip here off the speed. You can see on the race sim, the 3 does draw off, but I think just broke the maiden. It's so hard to come back and win. I think that they're going to be a lot of speed. And I think this race comes back to the 5. You can see the 5 is right there with the 3. I always tell people, if you don't like a horse, you can just cut it out. And then what happens? The 5 wins. So for me, that's my best bet is the 5. I hope we get 3, 4 to 1. It's Jose, so we might not. But here's Hesper, 10 races, only 1 win, but has been facing actually open company. Over in Kentucky, the last 5 races since last year's fairgrounds meet. And you look, it's a state bred allowance, non-winners to 1, fully finds just a dream spot here. Ran a good race last out, but couldn't get it done. But you look back at this fairgrounds form and look at 5.5. That was a 64 last year in that state bred allowance and just missed. Hit the board in all 3 of those efforts. I think if we go back, and actually broke the maiden here, right? Sprinting 6. So likes the fairgrounds dirt. I think you can probably see here, showing some ability to stalk off the pace. This just is not a great group. And again, the favorite's going to be a horse that just broke its maiden. And I think Foley finds a dream spot, comes out of open company and gets back to state bred. And Jose rides. You're not going to get a better jock here at fairgrounds. He can be sitting the trip right off the speed, and I think comes up over the top, and we get a great, great price. Hopefully 3, 4 to 1. And then I think this is a 2-horse race in the sprint. Jose might have a double in Hitchcock, and then I think Joe's Candy's the other horse here. Most of these others really haven't shown much at anything close to this 46 level. I mean, the 1 is 0 for 8, been running but not winning. And you look at the 2 for Urt, and that's a big drop, 8 points in SOR. Anything around 2 to 4 points is material. I'm not sure this horse really loves the turf, but it may not matter on the drop coming in from Keeneland. And then Joe's Candy, the horse, was a Papa Mandela horse, and Al Stall year has actually shown some amount of run versus similar. So I think probably can sprint, and the others just haven't shown much. I mean, you look 0 for 5, 0 for 4, 0 for 3. At least the 2 and 3 fit the board. So I think you could probably daily double there. Not sure the prices. That's why I like the pick 3. And then, Betty Davis just romps on the race sim. This horse is taking a massive strength of race drop into a 5K claimer. I think it's not going to matter. I necessarily don't love these. That's why I like playing stuff for cheap sometimes and stuff like this. But I'm not sure this horse is going to get beat. And just, I know it's a big drop and there's probably problems, but this is just not a great 5K claiming group at this type of strength of race. They all haven't really shown much. The 2-horse wins what by 5-6 lengths on the race sim. I think going to be really tough at the end there on the big drop. You can see here it comes from 58s and 60s. One there, off the layoff for Diodoro. And Hernandez here to ride. Good for him. Hearing Hernandez here at Fairgrounds. Might get his first win of the meet if he doesn't get earlier in the card. But that's the pick 3. It's cheap for $1. And then if you just joined us, that was the pick 4. We like the 5. That's our best bet of the card in race 6. Really cheap pick 4. You can play the pick 5 and pick 6, I think, as well. But Hesper, race 6, best bet. Hopefully we get 3, 4 to 1. All right, y'all. I'm going to let you go. Have a good day. Happy New Year. We'll be back tomorrow. Chat soon.